Hello everyone, how's it going? Dr. Incompetent here, and let's play some Endzone, A World Apart, shall we? Well, this game looks to be a builder game, perhaps like SimCity, Anno, something like that. Banished, but it's in this kind of post-apocalyptic world where humans living in our time destroyed the environment, and now people are trying to rebuild in that world that's been crushed by the effects of, what we're doing today to the planet. So it's a little uncomfortable, but we're going to check it out and see how humanity intends to redress our unconscionable mistakes. So let's go for a new game. Now, I've never played this before. And I can play an interrelated tutorial that teaches me the game, or I can become familiar with certain parts of the game in brief segments. Now, I would like to probably I'm going to click tutorial, and I could do the main tutorial, a longer interrelated tutorial that includes all important aspects of the game, follow Arthur Shaman's instructions, and obtain important clues, or I could do a water tutorial, a brief, or I could do these separate ones. I prefer just to do the longer interrelated tutorial as opposed to just learning about the different systems without connecting context. So I'm just going to start the tutorial up. Look at that sweet bus. That's where we live. Van life, baby.
We left the Endzone. Just look at this beautiful scenery. It's marvelous, even though it's a bit different from what we had pictured. We were able to secure a few basic resources and are storing them in our bus.
All right, so we've come out of the Endzone. We got our van life set, and we're going to build ourselves a home.
I'm glad we prepared ourselves well for this kind of scenario, especially since our inventories in the Endzone ran low. Don't forget that if you need additional information, you can look at our survival guide at any time.
Okay, thanks so much. Let's do it. Oh, they're going to open the survival guide now. It's in the upper left. And it says, with the help of tasks, freely available settlers are instructed to gather certain resources or remove radiation in an area. Wow, they can remove radiation. Tasks like these will only be performed by settlers who do not perform any function. Up to 4 settlers can work on a task at the same time. The only exception to this is the task for removing radiation. The task to remove radiation will only be carried out by any settler who has nothing to do, even by those settlers who have been assigned a profession. Okay. And we can gather wood, we can gather scrap, we can gather plants, just gather it all and remove radiation. Okay.
Well done. Everything you need to know should be right here.
Okay.
I think the time has come for us to at last build ourselves a new home here.
Okay. Great. I'm down with that. Okay, I just bumped up the UI scale to 125. So if you're a person who wants a bigger UI scale, the accessibility features look pretty good. I like to have it a little larger just to make it easier to read. The text was a bit small for me.
Before we can construct buildings at all, we have to assign the profession builder to several settlers so that they can take care of construction contracts.
Okay.
In general, it's your responsibility to decide which tasks are important and how our settlers are supposed to be distributed to attend to them.
Oh, okay, I'll try that. By the way, I like your interior and exterior collar. You look hip, futuristic, and rugged. All right, open the profession menu, which is down here in the lower left. And then we need to, I guess, assign people to be builders. I have settlers. What does it want me to do? 3 builders. Okay, so I'm going to go 1, 2, 3.
All right. Your builders will be ready as soon as construction contracts have been issued.
Okay.
It's time to start focusing on our key and most basic need, water.
All right. Well, I have to say I wasn't kind of sure what polish this game would have, but I love the voice acting. I love this tutorial. Game looks fantastic so far. Feels very much, like a real-time settling game, like Anno, where you have like a whole population. Got it?
The first thing we ought to do is to establish a working water supply.
Okay.
So we'll move on to our first construction contract. Place and build a jetty by a lake in the vicinity of your town center.
Okay. We need to build a jetty by the vicinity of the lake in our town center. Okay, so let's go to the build tasks, and we need a jetty, which looks like a little dock, I suppose. And it needs to be rotated around. Let's see, how do I... Okay, you can push R to rotate it. There you go. There, I built it right there. So I rotated it around so that all 4 green segments were, showing, and then you could see this sticks out into the water. Okay, great. And I'll do this, and I think, no, the game is not paused, so, are they going to build this? Yeah, here they come. They're just going slowly. Okay, cool. I was like, they're not doing anything. Nope, they went to the bus. You could see them right here. They're carrying the wood out. All right, I'm going to speed it up a little bit then. You could see their paths. That's cool, the workers that are going there. And then there they go. Bam.
Very good. The jetty was completed as planned.
You're darn right.
Now we have a place where we can collect water. There are other possibilities to gather water too, but the jetty is the simplest and most cost-effective method.
Okay.
We can obtain and store water from different sources, like a jetty, rain collector, or well in the cistern. The cistern should always be in close proximity to a water source, so that our water carriers don't have to walk too far.
All right, so we need to build ourselves a cistern. So I'm gonna pause it. It is paused right now. Spacebar pauses and unpauses, by the way, which is great. So I'm gonna click build, and we need to build a cistern. And they say that they want it close. Now, you see with the green area, I'm pretty sure that's like the access point. So let's make it as close to these people as possible. I can't build it here, but I could build it, for example, right here. Excellent. And then it says we need to assign people to be water carriers. So we go back in here, and we put like 3 people on water carrier. That satisfies that. And then we need to produce 100 water. So I will just push play. I'm going to go slow. I'm not worried about anything right now. I'm just going to see what happens. If you click on this, I love the fact this game is really cool. I love that you can see these people built this. They're going to walk back. They're probably the builders. They're probably going to get supplies and take them to the cistern. I'll speed it up, and you can use the number keys to do this. I'm just going to push 2. You can see this guy is coming with his supplies, which he will drop off here, and he's going to start building it up. And then they're coming in with their supplies. Nighttime's happening. I got a lot of people straggling, doing nothing, but that's okay. And then these people are rocking it. Okay, they're almost done. This takes a lot. I mean, it's a huge thing, this cistern, so it takes a while. And we get a reward of 200 water if we actually complete this. Okay, there they go. They're hammering it. They have all the supplies. And then now... it's built, and now it's just time for the water carriers, and you can see them. So if I click on this, now it no longer shows the pathing, but I can see, like, if I click on Maria, for example, she's got her gas masks, she's a young adult, and she's going to put stuff into the cistern. Awesome. I love this. Okay, cool. And then this is Jacob, who's also an adult, and... got a nice hood. He's getting the water. How much water do we have? Okay, now we have 50. And it shows water up here. Now we started with 554 in stock because most of it's probably in the bus. But now we're adding. We've got 50 more. This shows in the upper center of the heads-up display. We've got our food, wood, scrap, tools, radiation protection. We have 4 kids. 11 adults. Population is trending downward. This is our happiness. Okay, cool. Let's just keep going. You can see the 3rd water carrier rocking it. Now, this person must be, like, going to get a bucket, maybe. They didn't have enough buckets, and now they do.
Great. We have now installed a working water supply, and water is now transported from the jetty to our cistern. Consider hiring more water carriers if you don't have enough settlers available. You can never have enough water in storage.
Oh, okay.
Now we should focus on food production. It's important to ensure the supply right from the start. A gatherer's cabin, a hunting lodge, or a fishing hut can directly remedy the situation. I suggest starting with a fishing hut, since we're already located near a lake.
That sounds great. We could totally do that. Okay. I'm going to then just go to build, and we're going to go to fishing hut, food, fishing hut. All right, and we just need to push R to orient this correctly. This is right. I'm going to put it like as close to this as we can, just to keep everything nice and tight. There you go. And we need to push escape. Go to this. I need to assign 2 people to be fisher people. And I will kind of put it at the fast game speed. Watch this load up. We got a lot of people carrying water. We're already up to 800 water, which is phenomenal. All right, super. All right, there we go. They did it. And now, let's watch them fish. Yep, there they go. So, you know, Christopher is fishing it up and then putting the fish in there.
Good work. We've now taken care of our basic supply via food and water. Make sure that you have enough food and water on hand at all times, especially if you want to upgrade your settlement. A population that grows too fast can quickly unbalance your food and water supply, bringing major difficulties for you if you don't watch out.
Yep, gotta watch out for that. Okay, so we want to get enough food and water. Okay.
Crops are another excellent way of getting food because they constantly grow as long as the soil is moist enough. Each seed has different yields and growing times. This means that it could take some time until your field is ready to be harvested, in contrast to your fishing hut, where production can be right away.
Okay. Perfect. All right, understood. All right, fantastic. So the soil moisture, I'm going to click it, and dried out is like by the water, paradoxically, but it's really good over here by these scrap piles and stuff. So let's cultivate a field. I'm going to click on this heat, kind of heat map or whatever again, and we're going to just say build a cultivated field. And I'm going to build a big one over here. Actually, let me just keep this on so I know where I want to build it. I'm going to build a massive one. I don't know how big it should be, but we need food, so there you go. And then we need to assign people. So I'll just click on this and put a farmer on there. And then seeds from fields chosen. All right, so we need to click on the field. And we need to say choose seed, and I guess I can grow cabbage or black salsify. I don't even know what black salsa. It looks like some kind of root. I'm gonna go with cabbage. Keep it. Choose the seed.
Looks good.
Great.
Remember that we need the widest variety of food sources to stay healthy. You should also plan ahead for drought periods that might come when it's not going to rain. Stock up on food and adapt your production to avoid bottlenecks. I'll show you a few more strategies later on.
Okay, thanks, buddy.
At the beginning, we don't have much scrap, wood, or other resources. We could build a production building, but to obtain resources as fast as possible, it's best that we start gathering right away.
Okay.
Assign a Gather All Resources task. All the settlers who haven't been assigned any profession by you are going to accept these kinds of tasks. In addition, settlers distribute resources within your settlement.
Okay, great. So I love that you can just be like, gather everything as a job. So let's figure out how to do that. So we need to place a gather wood task and a gather scrap task. Okay, so let me pause the game and figure that out. So this is profession build. Okay, it is in the task panel. Resources. Okay, so let me see here. Oh, I can just click on this to find out where it is. It's in tasks at the bottom. Sweet. Okay, so just a heads up, in the kind of upper left in this panel, you could click on it to just kind of go immediately to it. So I need to gather some wood, so let's just, you know, put it in. Oh, and you just hit this huge area. And we'll say gather scrap, and then there's a ton. So, and the number in the center is telling me how much I'm going to get. So there's 174. That's great. And I did these, and we need free settlers available. So we need to go to professionals, and I will bump down water carrying by 1. No. I will bump down builder by 1. And what else do I need? I need to produce these things. Yeah. You know what? I don't need any builders at the moment. I'm going to turn off all builders. I'll have 1. Do you need a builder? We'll find out. I'm just going to have everybody gathering stuff. Yeah, because the farmer is going to do this. It's interesting, like, how many seeds they're planting it. How many seeds do we need, and how many, like, to plant this whole field? I don't know. All right, there they go. They are producing scrap and wood, so I'll leave them to it. They're out there fishing. They're gathering water. Everything is going up, so this is good. All right, they've got enough wood.
Since we now own plenty of resources, we can start to build a real production building. Then you don't have to always make efforts by hand that collecting is taking place. Production buildings are not only easier to manage, they are also distinctly more effective than simple tasks. Don't place production buildings too far away from your settlement. You'll be able to change their working area at any time later on.
Okay, great. So production buildings just have an area of influence.
Right on. The best thing for us to do now is to build a forester's lodge to automate our supply of wood and make it more effective at the same time.
Okay.
Foresters are not only able to chop down trees, they reforest areas with trees as well.
Oh, that's great. Look at that arcade cabinet right there at the scrap pile. Don't scrap that arcade machine. What are you doing? That's the most important piece of our civilization. All right. Go ahead to the Forester's Lodge, and we're going to build these. And, oops. Oh, it's saving the game. I was like, what's going on? We can build it wherever we like, and I'm going to try to get as much wood as possible. And then I'm going to rotate it so that the entry point is close to our base. Yeah, that's good. I don't want to make it too far, but that's a lot of trees right there. So then we also need to have somebody be a forester. So I'll go over here, and I'm just going to click up on forester by 1. There we go. I'm going to just wait. Speed it up. Notifications. Homeless settlers build houses. Uh-oh. All right. There's going to be a drought. So at the bottom center of the heads-up display, you could kind of see like what's going to be happening. That's interesting. So we got to plan accordingly. So we got the fishing hut, and is this thing full? Oh my gosh. Well, that's great. So we're full up on water. So what that means is I'm going to go to production, and I am going to bump down water carriers then by at least one. And, you know, boost up. I'll boost up the farming. And I am going to add, even though it didn't ask me to, I'm just going to build another farm over here. I'm going to click on it, and we're going to choose the seed of this black salsify. And push, just get out of that, and then hopefully they'll build it. And the builder should be coming up here any moment now. I'll click on this to see where they are. Here comes somebody. Yeah, they're delivering resources, but it takes a bunch to get there. And I only have one builder, so it might take too long. I could, if I wanted to, just, you know, put another builder on. Help out. We've already produced plenty of wood. Look at all this scrap. Man, they destroyed these trees. They go through trees really quickly. Alright. And let's see if they start getting it done. I'm going to speed it up to number 4. Or 3, sorry. 3 is the fastest. Alright, there they go. Chop, chop. Put that in there. Make it happen.
Good job. You might want to change this building's working area later on to tell your workers where they should get their wood from.
Okay.
And for your information, if you want, you can also tell your Forester's Lodge that they only ought to attend to reforesting an area in order to create a lush, green forest, which generations to come can use.
All right.
Very good. Now we ought to take care of collecting scrap. Scrap is one of the most valuable resources because the quantities present are limited, and we can recover other resources from scrap. Unlike the task we just had, the scrap yard allows larger quantities of existing scrap to be dismantled than with ruins or wrecks.
Okay. Uh-oh. These pigs are eating our stuff. Or maybe they're just grazing. I can't tell. I mean, I don't know if they're attacking my crops or if it's just like, you know, the animation just shows them grazing on grass and they pay no respect to, like, if they're on a farm or not. But they better not be, or we're going to eat that radioactive boar. All right, so we need to build a cool scrapyard so we can salvage these bigger chunks, I think. All right, so we need to build a scrapyard. So I'm going to go to build, and we're going to go to resources and scrapyard. And look at this. I'm going to build it like as much. Yeah, this is perfect. This is 1,000 scrap. Put it right there. And then I need to go to professions and make somebody a scrap collector. Okay, and I'm going to unpause it. And then the builders, I'll click on this and you should be able to see them coming over to immediately build this up. These are the gather areas. Let's see this. Construction information. They need wood, they need scrap, and then they have to build it. So they're just putting all the scrap and the wood there. They finished installing a lot of the resources. You can see they've cleared the area. This is cool. I really like the transparency of this game. Like, all of the information is visible. It's intuitive. A game like this can be super complex. And I'm sure it's going to get complex, but the tutorial does a really good job of explaining everything. Okay. And let's see. They have finished it, and now they're gathering scrap.
Great. You can change the working area for the scrapyard, too.
Okay.
We can recycle scrap into 4 additional resources: cloth, metal, plastic, and electronics. We'll do that shortly, but for now, we ought to take care of your settlers' needs first.
Okay.
Our people want a place to sleep.
Yeah, they have been complaining.
Cabins fulfill their need for safety and privacy, and increase the confidence of their inhabitants. In other words, building cabins increases their willingness to start families and reproduce, if you know what I mean.
You know what, Arthur? I know exactly what you mean. So, yeah, increases their confidence. They're like, well, I don't want to just reproduce, as Arthur calls it, right here in front of everyone else. If only we had a cabin. Oh, we'll give you some privacy. All right, we're going to go to building, and we're going to go to housing and cabins. So let's try to build some cabins. I'm going to build them to the south here because this is a place where the soil is dry. So I don't know how many I need to build, actually. 8? Okay. So you have to make sure that the access is clear for these things. So I'm going to build like the housing donut. Okay, that's 8. All clear. I can go over here and just add a builder again, if I want. The water tank is pretty full. I don't know where they store the food and like what the limit on food is. Is it in the bus that they store this? I don't know. They're building up these cabins though. Let's check this out. Let's speed it up. Slam these babies together. Yep, look at that. That is a sweet tarp awning. I like that they're different. Like there's different variations, and they just randomly build. Like this one is the first time I've seen it repeat. There's several different versions. That's cool. There they go. Now you could see that we're having oncoming drought, and we've got this homelessness. We'll get it taken care of. Yep, crank it out.
Besides cabins, you can also provide sturdy houses and shelters as housing.
Okay.
Sturdy houses withstand sandstorms better and have an increased storage capacity to boot. Children living in houses gradually fill up the house's stockpiles. Settlers do not reproduce in a shelter because they lack privacy.
Okay, so you can build a sturdy house, and a shelter is just like a place where they won't reproduce, but it's like a community center or, like a dormitory. And sturdy houses are better than cabins. But then also, children who live in the houses as opposed to the cabins, unless they mean cabins too, just gather resources on their own.
Let's return from our excursion into housing and refocus on scrap. With the help of a recycler or refinery, scrap can be sorted into 4 different resources. A recycler always takes scrap apart, one resource at a time, while a refinery automatically produces all 4 resources. To start off, you should build a recycler and produce cloth. Okay, so we need to focus on scrap so we can start turning it into things so people can make, clothes. I'm just going to pause it. I really love this. I just like the idea of how people would use the resources of a ruined civilization to make civilization again, and like how they would kind of repurpose our garbage, because I think that might be relevant, but it's just so interesting as opposed to like being able to live off of what nature has provided. We do that as well, but it's been compromised to a degree, and then we have all this extra junk to kind of make the best of. All right, so we need to build a recycler, so we'll click build, and we're going to click on, I guess, resources. Yep, here it is, recycler. This doesn't have an area of influence, so we can build it wherever we want. We should probably build it near the scrap pile here, so I will. And then we need to put somebody on refining, and I will take down to just 2 builders. And we need to produce cloth. So I'm just going to unpause it. The 2 builders that we have should be plenty to go do that. You can see they're farming.
They are working on this. This is like 100% planted, so it looks pretty good. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, and then this is, they're planting this one now. I guess they had to remove all the extra grass that grew. There they go. Here comes the builder carrying the resources. And we'll just speed it up to the fastest level. Maybe I should just go back to 3 builders. I kind of like having a lot of people gathering things, but this is fine. It just finishes faster. Once they're done building, I don't think they stay idle as builders. I think they do something if they have no immediate task for their profession. So it's not like I have to worry about the fact that I've assigned them as a builder and they're going to be idling like in Dwarf Fortress where I told them to do that labor exclusively or something like that. All right, so now I'm going to click on this, and yeah, you can see right now they're producing cloth, and maybe you can like change what they produce, but it defaults to cloth, which is what we want anyway. Water production is fine. Food is just going up and up, so we're doing great on food. All right.
You can instruct your recycler to produce a different resource at a time. It's important that you focus on the resources you really need, at least in the beginning.
Okay.
Cloth and metal look like good options if you want to equip us with protective clothing and tools.
That seems important. Okay. So I do want, cloth, but I can toggle. Oh, I see. I can set production limits and things like that. No, he says a different resource at a time, not different resources at a time. So it's just one.
Happy settlers are industrious settlers. That's why we ought to look after our people and protect them against the surroundings and dangers, like radiation. So let's start by transforming our newly recovered cloth into protective clothing. A tailor will be able to help us with that.
Okay. So we need a tailor to create cloth into clothing. Great. I'm going to go to radiation, and this is just showing us the terrestrial radiation. Luckily, at least according to this heat map, there's no radiation where we've settled, which is smart. There's a little bit over here, maybe, some green. Anyway, I'm going to turn off this heat map, and I'm going to go to build, and we're going to go to tailor shop. And let's see, let me find my place again. Here we go. And I'll build this like right over here. Okay. And then we need to tell someone to be a tailor. Only 2 people can work in the tailor shop. We need to make neck scarves. Yep. Scarves seem good. Love it. That's the sign of a surviving... Oh, what does this mean? Are we out of resources? Maybe it means they're like running out of stuff to take from here. I can't tell. What's going on here? Are these kids? No, this is an adult. It's a scrap collector. What are you doing? Are you just chilling, like eating food or something? I wonder if there's a way to see if I have idle villagers or something. Unassigned workforce 1. Professionals 14. Oh, wait. Did we get like a wave of migrants? Maybe we got more people coming in or something. No, I don't think so. Unassigned worker is fine. That person will just do a job. There we go. And I'm going to pause it, and we need to make neck scarves. They're already doing that. So I'm going to open this up.
We categorize environmental radiation into 4 levels. No radiation, low level, medium level, and high level radiation. The radiation changes constantly and is influenced by weather and contaminated rain.
Oh, wow. Okay, so it changes.
Protective clothing helps to protect us against this kind of radiation, but it takes a while before it's produced. And production relies on a steady flow of incoming resources. Try to establish production chains at an early stage and start to stockpile goods so that some are always on hand.
Okay.
The tools we brought along from the Endzone are slowly but surely running out. So now, let's focus on manufacturing new tools. The tools will help us to work effectively. We'll need metal for that, so we'll prepare for production by building another recycler, which we'll commission to recover metal from scrap. After that,
Right.
we'll need a workshop to enable the manufacturing of brand new tools.
Okay, so I see. So, right, I'm going to keep this scrapyard producing cloth, or the recycler, I'm sorry. I'm going to keep this producing cloth because we're going to need that for all of our scarves. But then we also want to make a separate recycler just for metal because you can only do one at a time. You can see our happiness has gone up, probably because of the scarves, the variety of food, and the dwellings that we built them. Awesome. Let's do it. So, I am really pumped about this game so far. I mean, there's a lot going on in this tutorial. I don't know how much longer it is, but I feel like I'm really, really learning the basics. And I know it's only going to be harder in the actual game, but we're getting a firm foundation, and things are pretty intuitive. I think I'll stop this episode of the series here, and then we'll pick up with the tutorial. But I'm just really curious, like, what are your thoughts and impressions on this game? Have you played Endzone? Do you want to see more of this? Does this look like a kind of game that you're interested in? What are your thoughts after seeing just this beginning portion, or if you've already played it, let me know if it's worth continuing. Everybody, thank you so much for watching. Take care.